Well, good evening, Chameleon Academy. Everybody out there enjoying being chameleon people because that's the most awesome thing to be. Excuse me. Like I said, the cold's going to be gone by next Saturday. You'll get maybe a couple of coughs this time, but I am almost mended from my bout with lemur pox. I've decided it's lemur pox. That's what I got. So, hello, James, Steve, Mikey, Tony, and Lisa. Yes, I'm weird as Lisa. So, hey, welcome back, Tony. Tony? I came back with lemur pox. What'd you come back with? Tony went to Madagascar with me. And by the way, everybody, I'm kidding about lemur pox. It was just a cold. Just got my cage today. Everything I expected. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. CGI. So, yeah, hello, Emily. So, everybody, you're looking at me and you're saying, Bill, you're looking like you're out of Logan's Run or something. Anybody remember Logan's Run? I mean, James and Steve, Mikey, Ben, all of you Gen Xers, you remember Logan's Run? But I have a very blank slate over here. Tomorrow, this is getting turned into a Parsons enclosure. And so I even got all my sticks right here ready to go. And I was almost ready saying I'm going to have it done by Tuesday night. But then I realized, no, you know what? I have to actually film this. Marsha, oh my goodness. Hello. Wayne Beatties. So, yeah, let's see. Okay, James, Tony says, I was sick after I came back. Finally feeling a little better. You know what? What's really cool is I end up getting sick on the way back instead of being there. So when's a good time to be sick? Well, I'd rather not be sick there. Although Geraldine was sick, but she picked the right place to be sick. In Nandasi Bay, where you can just sit there. Gorgeous. Looking out at the entire rainforest and lemurs running through the trees. Yeah, it's not cool being sick, but Geraldine knows how to do it. So let's see. Bill, hope your evening is doing great. Yeah. Nate says, I can't use YouTube. What? Nate, why? How can you be without YouTube? I know, I hate social media, but YouTube is the least of the bad ones. So how's a jet lag from coming back from Madagascar? Was it a great trip? B. Hoffman, real estate. It was an awesome trip. Jet lag was non-existent because I was so absolutely tired after 25 hours in the plane and not being able to sleep. Believe me, there was zero jet lag. I just crashed when I got home. And yeah, anyway. Let's see. Steve is saying, Bill, what are you trying to say? Whoops. What are you trying to say about James and I? Just that we may be from the same Gen X. Hey, Bodige. I'm just guessing on the screen names. So, hello, Janet. Okay. James is asking the important questions here. Bill, that thing looks awesome. What species are you putting in there? Do they have yellow lips? Yes, James knows. And you can see, especially in the Instagram, by the way, everybody, if you are watching this on replay, know that you could be here live. This happens every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific on both Instagram and on YouTube. On YouTube, it's the Chameleon Academy live channel. But as you can see, this is, okay. Can you see that? Let me see. Get this camera so the YouTube people can see what the Instagram people see. Okay, so this is on the Crosscuts bioactive stand for the large atrium. This is a dude. Let me tell you, as somebody who just calculated out all the shipping costs, this is a dude of a product, and it's awesome. And so this is going to be a yellow-lipped Parsons chameleon going in here. It's going to be a young adult male, and he is in quarantine. And people are going, wait a minute, That's for a bioactive. You're putting a Parsons in a bioactive that isn't done with quarantine. Yes. And you're going to be watching every step of the way. Now, when you get these bioactive stands from Mr. James Cross, you don't have to put soil in them, at least not right away. And that's my plan. So I am going to be able, it's got drains in here, goes in the bucket. And so it's going to be, I'm going to be able to do all of my fogging and all of my misting, everything necessary to keep this guy hydrated. And I'm just going to keep the bare floor. What that means is that I can go through the acclimation process. I can check for the parasites. I've already looked for through one poop, no parasites. What? Yeah, I don't trust it either, but it's not unheard of. So he's going to go through the acclimation. I'm going to be setting it up strategically. And as soon as he clears the quarantine, as long as I don't find like cryptosporidium or anything like that, then I can add the soil. Now you're saying, wait, and soil bioactive for Parsons, is that really a thing? It doesn't have to be. The reason why I'm going to be putting a soil floor here, I mean, for a Parsons, for the rest of their life, I don't have to put soil in there. I mean, I'm going to be putting monstera and stuff like that. They can be in big pots. So if you've got a big cage, you don't have to do the soil. The reason why specifically I am putting a soil in this is because I want that humidity sink. I want my something holding that big, this is a 4x2 footprint, and that's going to hold a lot of soil. It's going to hold a lot of moisture, and it's going to continuously radiate humidity. And for all those of you who know, almost done with that. Parsons, shamrock chameleons, those kind of Kaluma, they love their humidity. And so that's why I'm doing it. So my YouTube was broke. Hi. Oh, hey, Knight, you're back on YouTube. Very cool. So, all right. Alicia, hello. Hello. All right, let me do. I am going to be, yeah, Tony says, Geraldine picked the best place to be sick. Hey, Annabelle. So, okay, I'm going to be getting through the comments. Flick is here from Northern Ireland. We always celebrate when our European and Asian friends join us because, like, for Flick, it's like middle of the morning or something. Nate says, I'm building a bioactive Parsons enclosure also. Have fun. We're all doing it together. Everybody should have a Parsons. When do you need the pictures for our foggers to show Peternechas? Just start sending them to me. I haven't decided on a day that we're going to raid his Facebook. Oh yeah, Richard's here. Richard, we may need your help. He's going, what the heck? All right, so everybody, this is secret. Don't tell Peternechas. Is YouTube down to anybody else? Yes, Alamo90. Nate said he wasn't able to get onto YouTube, but now he's able to get onto YouTube. So something strange is going on. So let's see. Do you sell carpet chameleons? I do not. Carpet chameleons are awesome, but I do not sell them. How likely will I be able to get a real colorful one from you when I get one? You're awesome, man. Well, thank you very much. I have some panther chameleons that I'm going to be selling right now, and I'll be Hugo has been spoken for, but I have a number of like these guys. I don't know what they are. They have colored up, and I don't know what they are. These are from a wild caught female. Confusing as to what the label was, and so I raised up the babies, and I gotta tell you, I don't know what they are. Some of them I know that they are Nosy Bay, but some of the eggs, I don't know what they are. So I'm going to be taking pictures and offering them in my newsletter. So if you want a really, really very cool chameleon, that I don't know what they are. People can make guesses, I'm sure, and people will, but I can't sell them as breeders. That's the thing. They're the ones that I raised up behind me, and now they got to go to new homes. And so they're pets. If I don't have a 100% identification of the locales, they're pet chameleons. Please don't breed these because you won't be able to say what they are. And it's very important for our just a general community sake that we don't mix locales without being very deliberate as to what we're doing. So I don't like mixing locales, but I will acknowledge that there are, well, okay, just at least one person who's doing it responsibly. That would be camouflage chameleons. They do it responsibly. They tell you exactly what the mix is, and they look gorgeous. A lot of times the mixes don't look that great, but with camouflage, they figured out how to do it. So that's kind of my, generally speaking, I say don't do it, but I'm not going to condemn it if people are doing it responsibly. These chameleons are not going back into the wild, but also once we mix them, can't unmix them. So I say let's not mix them if we can help it. I have a question. My chameleon eat a bird. Is it okay or should do something? No, they can eat birds. Oh, I guess that's a simple answer. Yep, they can eat birds. Hello, Heather from Sacramento. Wonderful to have you. B. Hoffman Real Estates would love to see pictures of videos of the Panthers. B. Hoffman, are you part of my newsletter? That's the question. If anybody wants to see pictures of these Panthers that are available, I'm going to be making them available in my newsletter. If you're not part of my newsletter, go to chameleonacademy.com and sign up. There's a little thing that says newsletter sign up, and then there's a pop-up that comes up. It comes up way too big, and it's annoying, and I'm trying to figure out how to shrink it down, but you can't miss it. So if you just stay on the page for a little while, the pop-up comes up. Sign on to that, and sometime, probably next Monday, I'll be sending out a newsletter that's going to show pictures. I'm trying to get pictures of these guys. So let's see, make sure I get everybody's. Anyway, oh yeah. This Mikey been asking about pictures of our foggers. So there I was on the top of the summit of the mountain in Mizaha, and I was smack talking with Peter Nechas. We were sitting there. We were once you get to this, it's a very cool. It's by Andasi Bay. You climb up the mountain during the late afternoon. You stay at the summit and until nighttime, and then you hike down during the night, and you see a lot of different animals. Really cool. Chameleons, geckos, all sorts of stuff, lemurs. Well, when you're up at the summit, it is so cool because you watch the clouds come in. You see there's this great valley that you see. There's mountains on the other side. It's covered with foliage, and you literally watch the fog descend, and to the point where it just fills up the valley. You cannot see the mountains on the other side. It is amazing. It also tells you what kind of humidity these guys are living in. But anyway, we were sitting there, and I decided, well, we'd do a little smack talk. We were talking about all sorts of chameleon stuff, and I said, you know what? I think my community's actually better foggers than yours. We're more of the fogging community than yours is, and just basic smack talking. Because he was quite amused, but I'm thinking we're going to have a takeover. We're going to talk to Richard, who's on here, and nobody say anything. But they're going to say, "Hey, Richard, where's the best page?" And we're going to go there, and we're going to do a smack talking post about how we're the best foggers, and then we're just going to post a bunch of pictures of all of our fogging situations, and then challenge him to a fog off. That's what we're going to do. So if anybody wants to be part of this fog off, send me pictures of your fogging situation. It's to bill@chameleonacademy.com on the YouTube. You can see it scrolling on the bottom, not on Instagram because Instagram is a pain in the butt. But send me pictures, and they got to be good pictures. And remember, especially on Petra's group, they don't like any light with fogging. And we all know, okay, it's a complication, and Petter says no fogging while the lights are on because he wants to make it really, really simple. There's nothing that's a problem with light and fog. The problem is heat and fog, and heat often comes with lights. So that's why he makes that generalization. Anyway, not everybody on his group really understands the dynamics and the intricacies, and that's why we have an advantage here, because I can sit in here, I can talk, and for the entire hour I can talk about fogging and stuff and all the intricacies. On a Facebook group, you don't have that luxury. You have to go down and you have to make it simple, because people just look at the title and then they go away. That's the nature of Facebook. If you're on Facebook, that's the way you got to do it. So this is not a criticism of how he's doing it. This is just, we have an advantage being on a live session that we can go into details. So anyway, if you want to be part of the fog off, then you can send me pictures at bill@chameleonacademy.com. But of course, that means you're going to be on Team Chameleon Academy. If you are a petter, well, no, you know what? There's no rules here. You can be on both sides. And so you can post with Chameleon Academy. And then when it's time for Petter to respond, you can be on his side too. This really isn't a, this is an amusing thing. It's not meant to be turf warfare or anything. So let's see. B. Hoffman says, is there a way to auto fog at different times and only have to refill water weekly like a mister? Yeah. Just put the fogger on a timer, just like you do with a mister. And especially you just get since with the fogger, you're fogging at half hour or hours at a time. You just get an appliance timer, and you can just have it go off whenever you want to at night. And you just fill up the reservoir like you do a mister. So, Sacktown says, how long are panthers awake during the day? They are usually awake as long as the light is on. Mine wakes up at 7 a.m. when the lights go on, but goes to bed every day at 4:30 p.m. regardless of the lights being on. Is this typical? Yes. Oh, I think that's Heather. Heather, yes, that's absolutely typical. Chameleons, that is typical when your chameleon is on a schedule. If you have the lights go off at a certain time, your chameleon will sync to that time, and chameleons they find where they want to go to sleep, and they go to sleep like an hour before lights go off. Now, it's not exact. Some go 2 hours and we start getting a little bit concerned, but if they're doing that consistently, then it's a character trait. But that is the one time that it is acceptable and normal for a chameleon to have its eyes closed during the day, is when it's finding its sleep spot and it's going to bed before the lights are off. And that's because they've internalized your schedule. That's not normal. My fogger keeps getting clogged in the middle of the night. Yeah, that can be an issue. But my lights are on until 7 p.m. Yeah, Heather, they go to bed. And then, I mean, that's a little bit excessive, 2.5 hours beforehand, but their timer is not exact, and their timer was not. They've had millions of years of evolution with a sunset, and now they have this instant darkness, and so that is part of their acclimation to captivity, and they're doing the best they can with what they got. The important thing for you to know is you don't have to worry about it. That's completely normal. That's their internal system trying to adapt to the schedule. So you're good. What are we not supposed to tell again? Oh, yeah, Janet, don't tell Petter. I mean, it won't be a surprise when I do it, because I straight out challenged him in person right to his face. And I told him, we're better at fogging than he is. So, he really likes his fog. So that was kind of like throwing the gauntlet down. Oh, yeah. So, oh, Eliza, our Eliza, we love her so much. And tell her we said hi back. Your videos look great. I saw Nate's videos look great. I'll make some examples of what we're looking for. We'll look what we're looking for. James says, make sure you stay on the road. Coming down that hill is where I fell down the mountain at night. Okay, yeah. So this is back when I had James to be the universe's punching bag instead of me. And one of James's many adventures, I could just do an entire show on James's adventures in Madagascar, was he stepped off the trail and he just disappeared. He was right in front of me. And all of a sudden, boom, he disappears off the trail. And the guy behind me, I swear, I'm telling the truth, he flew. He did not touch the ground. He flew past me down the mountain, and all of a sudden James is back up. And I don't even know what happened, but that guide was being a superhero that night, and James back up and going, oh, okay. It just kept on walking. So it was pretty freaking awesome. Somehow Palpatine returned. Okay, I got it fogging. Oh, videos are okay too, Nate. Anything. Got it fogging with the chameleons in the middle and the lights on full blast. You know what? Well, you know what? They're just going to have to deal with light and fog. How many hours at night should one be fogging? Javi, that depends on your situation. There's no standard as to how much you should be fogging. It depends upon what your ambient humidity is, and it depends on how big your cage is and all this kind of thing. So it's one of those things that you get a feel for. And you're saying, well, that's not a very satisfying answer. I've been working very hard on trying to put this into words in a way that's explainable, because right now we're all doing it kind of like, okay, this feels right. And that's my job is to educate. And so that's my job, is to figure out how do I explain this? And the best thing that I was able to come up with as a reasonable way to set up a timing is that you fill up your cage with fog. Excuse me. And then you time how long it takes to get like 80%. And then you time how long it takes to fill back up. And then what you do is you just keep letting it get down to 80%, and then you fill it back up, and then let it go down to 80% and fill it back up. And that's what I can explain. I have an easier time about it because I have a little bit of a drier environment, and so I can just fog all night, and it's not an issue. But other people who have more humid environments, you got to pull back on the fogging and to make sure you don't overdo it. And someone's going to say, what is overdoing it? I am in the process of coming up with a podcast / book chapter on fogging to answer all of those questions, every single question that I can answer, that I can think of that would be generated by my explanation. So you're going, what the heck, Bill? What are you saying? I'm working on it. Just know I'm working on it. It's not an easy answer. There is no answer out there. I'm working on explaining it. Let's see. Bill, Tom is saying, do you have anybody watching on YouTube? I can't get YouTube to work at all right now. Yes. Down Detector is also reporting issues. Yes, Tom, there are serious issues with YouTube right now, but people keep trying and they've been able to get on. So I am on YouTube, and there are a number of people on YouTube, but there's a lot of problems. A lot of people had problems like Nate They said, I can't get onto YouTube. But so just keep trying, and then you can get onto YouTube. But yeah, there's something going on with YouTube. It's not my thing. It's them. Hey, hello, Tyler. You recommend a fogger being run at high volume if you have a screen enclosure and are in drier climate like California versus a lower fogger set. Okay, Heather, here's the problem with fogging. When we use our foggers, we are not producing fog in a way that is natural. When we have our foggers, we have it coming from a tube and we have this column of fog coming out. That's a draft. Drafts are not good. So, I mean, the ideal situation, which we're all working on, by the way, everybody, there's no easy answer. Fogging is a new hydration method. And the reason why we're so happy with fogging is because it solves a decades-old problem of chameleons being dehydrated during the day and having to, chameleons are thirsty and they keep drinking. Yeah, well, if you fog them at night, they don't do that. And so it solves a problem. That's why we're spending so much time trying to figure this whole fogging thing out. And the challenge is, of course, that you've got to figure it out for everybody in every situation. That's my self-appointed job, is to figure that out. And it takes a while. You gotta, it takes, it's not easy. But what I like to do, Heather, is I have these big plants. If you look into my general, like if I was going to set this one up, which I am going to be setting up with a fogger, I'm going to have the fogger on this side, and I'm going to direct it into the plant. And I'm going to have it at full bore. And so it goes into the plant and it disperses because it hits the plant. I can use the full force of the fogger because I'm doing that. If it's going to hit the chameleon, like if you have a smaller cage and the chameleon is going to get hit by the fog, number one, it will go towards the fog because it likes the humidity. But it's a draft, and you got to be really careful not to have your chameleon sitting there under a draft, because I mean they'll get sick just like we do. It challenges the immune system, and so this is where our fogging is challenged because of our equipment, which isn't as good as. I hope in 10 years we have much better fogging capability. So that's that. Marcia says, I have an autofill from our reservoir for the fogger and mister. Yes. A number of the people in the Chameleon Academy community have enjoyed these automatic, they set up these automatic, these floats. And so the RO water goes into the reservoir up until the point, and then it's stopped. And when the water is used, the float goes down and more water goes into fill. And yeah, it's a pretty good system. Janet, I accidentally kind of ordered a 12-head fog. Oh my goodness. Oh, Janet. You're going to be able to hydrate yourself at night. Oh. Mm. What size is that Parsons cage next to you, Alex? This is a Dragonstrand large hybrid atrium, and by this Saturday you're going to be able to see it filled up. It is a 4 foot wide, 2 feet deep, and 4 foot tall. James is impressed with the 12 head. Just a girl with an Amazon account. Bill and group, what are your thoughts on going to Madagascar with Rosie, who will be almost 6 by then? That is an interesting question. It would see that we do go through some pretty there are some pretty good hikes. So she would have to be able to keep up with the hike. Now you can always just take a couple of days, take a day off or something. Um, and it's going to be you deciding if that is safe. Uh, I'll talk. I'll talk to my guide and see. I don't know if he has any restrictions on kids. I'll ask him. I don't think he does. I'll ask him. But overall, there's nothing that we do that a 6-year-old wouldn't, who's interested in nature, wouldn't have a blast doing or seeing. Just stay on the trail. Don't chase lemur groups through the off trail stuff like I did. And yeah, but the trails we go, we're either walking along the side of the road, which of course, stay away when the trucks come by. But I've never felt in danger. We go on trails which are maintained, and everywhere we stay, it's actually kind of nice. So there's nothing that a kid on the surface, there's nothing there I would say that I'd be concerned about. But I'll have to talk to my guide and see if he has any age restrictions. Videos from everyone would be a great way to see how multiple people's look. Yes, there's always fun doing that. Hello, Howard. Check the droppings for hydration levels. Yep, that's the way you do it. So we got a good storm going. Yeah, well, whenever it happens with James, it'll happen with me like a day after, because the storms come down. I want to make sure there's no thing about overfogging or too thick of a fog. Javi, here's the thing. There, as long as you have like an outlet for air, I have not found a problem with overfogging. Now that makes an assumption that there is ventilation and there's a place for the fog to go. The problem that we run into is not necessarily an overfogging, but what we do to keep in the fog. We block ventilation. And so we have just this little bit of airflow. Well, ventilation is what gets the carbon dioxide out, because when the chameleons are breathing out, that's carbon dioxide. And that's why, we've got to have airflow, air exchange, because we got to get oxygen in, carbon dioxide out, get the carbon dioxide to all the trees in the Amazon, and then get their oxygen back here. That's how it works. And there aren't enough plants in a chameleon cage to do that. So the danger really isn't overfogging. The danger is trapping the air that allows us to fog very thick. And so we have to make sure that there's that air exchange, so we have that oxygen coming in. So that's really the danger of, quotes, overfogging. And once again, that's one of those things that's kind of hard to, I can explain the concept, but when it comes down to, well, what does that mean in actual hands-on? Yeah, I'm still working on how to explain that. All my coworkers in California have commented how much it is raining at every meeting I take. Yes, we are getting a lot of rain these days. At least a lot of rain in California terms. So, yeah, wifey cannot get on her account. Yeah, some people can get in to YouTube and somebody can't. It's strange. Lisa said I had to close and open 3 times before it would work. Wayne Beatty's because smash the like button. That's right, everybody. Make Wayne Beatty's happy. Hit the like button. Mikey Ben, how's Rosie on planes? Long flight to start. Yeah, it's like 25 hours. Okay, you're on the East Coast, so take off. What is it going to be like? 8 hours to France and then 12 hours to Madagascar. So, she's got to be okay being on an airplane. Now she's probably going to have a little bit better a time than I do because, like, especially coming down, especially going from Paris to Madagascar, we get like smaller seats, and I'm just sitting there like this. I can't do anything. I can't put my computer up because there's no room. Of course, the guy in front of me wants to lean back, and so I've got like 6 inches between my nose and his chair, and so it's like I can do nothing. Rosie's going to be able to do something and play with stuff and such, so she'll probably have a better time of it than me, as long as she doesn't go stir crazy being on an airplane that long. Listen to you, Bill, Marcia says. The new enclosures have a pothos directly under the fog nozzle to help disperse the fog. Yeah, it works great because the Chameleon, when he wants to sleep, it like goes under the plant because it's safe down there. And so it gets all of the fog and it disperses all over the place and builds up. And I really like that technique. There are a lot of children there, but it is a third world country. Depends on if you go with a group or by yourself. The guide wouldn't just go alone. Yeah. And we got to be careful. That is something that we got to be careful about. There's always the chance of getting sick there. And luckily, I've been there 3 times now. I've gotten sick from the food, I think, 1.5 times. One time I felt like I was going to throw up and then it was gone. Second time, I just didn't feel like eating and I ate French fries for 24 hours and that was okay. And yes, there's French fries. they have chips. Let's see. Don't hot box them in fun. No, don't hot box them, Artemis 24. No, we like cool fog. We do like cool fog. That would be an amazing trip to do as a family. This is correct. It would be. I will check on my guide's lower limit. So I know it's been said before, but I need some peace of mind. Any tips for a first-time Parsons keepers? Something you wish you knew in the beginning? Well, Nate, you've been around a lot of Parsons people. So biggest thing is brumation because your little baby stops eating and you go, he's going to die. No, he's not going to die. So yeah, Jada's got it. You know everything. Difference in that pool night, the cool nighttime drop, and hydration, cool and hydration. That's the Parsons. Sky Raider Ops Online says, I did. Excellent. Oh, you got a large hybrid atrium enclosure. Excellent. Greetings. I was fine, Bill. My flight was... You know what? Okay, nobody listened to Tony. Tony doesn't count here. Everything good happened to Tony. He got his plane, delivered him right to the terminal where he was supposed to be. There were no delays on his flights. He didn't have people on his flight. There were no people next to him. He could stretch out. And okay. Somehow Tony got like the universe loves Tony. So nobody listened to Tony. Tony, your experience doesn't count. We don't want to hear from you. Jeez. Mikey Ben, how did you manage to sleep on the plane? Because the universe smiled on him. Oh. Yeah. Let's see. What was the comment technique for diffusing the fog? Oh, Heather, the comment was to put a plant just like this one There we go. And then put the fogger nozzle so it goes directly into the plant. And that way, all of the force and all of that fog, you're getting a lot of fog into the cage, but all the force of the fog gets dispersed in the plant's leaves and such. Yeah, no one was sitting next to me. Lol. Yeah, and in Paris, okay, the most stressful time is in Paris because if you get terminal, was it 2E or something? If you get deposited in the terminal that you leave from, you don't have to go through security. You don't have to take a train to go to the next terminal. If you get deposited in some other terminal, and last time I was supposed to be, I think Terminal 2E is the one, if I remember correctly. I was supposed to be deposited in 2E, no problem. But I guess they're full. The Paris airport it's a first world airport, but it's got issues. And so anyway, they just stopped in the middle of the runway and had buses come up to take us. Yeah, that's going to soak up time. I only got 2.5 hours to get to my flight. And so they take me to the wrong terminal and they just throw me off and says, okay, here you go. Well, now I've got to find the right terminal, got to take a tram to the right terminal. And I am sweating it. And then I've got to go through security, the big long lines of security. And Geraldine is texting. She's stressing out. We're all trying to make sure we get to the plane on time. And Tony's texting saying, where are you guys? I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here for all time in front of the terminal. I'm just hanging out. We're going, geez, Tony, we don't want to hear from you. We really don't want to hear that. So anyway, we all got there just fine. And but Tony doesn't know the stress. We love you, Tony. Oh boy. That's CDG. Yes, it is Charles de Gaulle Airport. Or get deposited on the tarmac and then have to spend the night as you watch your friends get on the plane. Yes, James had a little bit of extra issues, but this next time, me and James are going to go together, and so I'm going to make sure. I'm making promises I don't know if I can keep because the universe gives and the universe takes away. So at the very least, James, next time, you and me, we are going to be in the same boat together, whichever boat that is. Okay, everybody, get ready. Get ready. I'm going to put the comment up and you're going to know why I say the things I say about Tony. And from Paris back to Chicago was totally perfect. All 3 seats just for me. You know what? Yeah, hear this kind of stuff. You go, Tony, we don't want to. We love you, Tony, but my gosh. Me, I was crammed going to Paris. I was crammed going from Paris to LA. It was like, come on, people. Let's see. I know we keep coming back to fogging. That's because fogging is awesome. I'm finally able to log into the comment. Yes, we have had a lot of problems today with logging in. What about a small humidifier fan mounted at the top to move air? That works. We've all experimented with it. If you need it, it's a great way to get air movement going. Some people like to put it so it sucks air from the cage and sucks it out. Other people have it sitting vertically on top of the cage, so it blows across the cage and it draws air. And crazy people like James have just huge cages. They don't care. They have the air blowing in. But yes, a small computer fan is perfect for doing stuff like that. I am. He's holding me to that. Yeah. Always take an aisle seat for the extra leg space. Oh, you think so, but you know what? If you're in the aisle seat, you keep getting people coming by and bumping you. It's great because yeah. It's great because you can get up and go to the bathroom whenever you want to. When I was stuck in the corner seat, I just had to wait till somebody else was ready to go to the bathroom, and then I got up too. But yeah, aisle seat is good for that kind of thing, but you keep getting people coming by. The window seat, you know what? There's advantages there because I'm just cramped in there, but nobody's bothering me. Tony, yeah, Tony is from the Chicagoland area. So, all right. Hey, oh, hey, everybody. You want to see a Shiba Inu? I got a Shiba Inu here. That's my Shiba Inu. Oh, I love you, Blazer. He says, unhand me. Shiba Inus are kind of a little bit of aloof. They're saying, why are you holding me? Why are you petting me? They're kind of like the chameleons of the dog world. They're saying, don't hold me. I'm better than this. I love you. I love you. Yes. All right. I will unhand you. Woof. And they shed twice a year for 6 months each. All right, Bill. Is everyone? Yes. Yes, everyone's coughing in my house. Now we are arguing as to who brought it in. I'm trying to take credit for bringing this in. I call it lemur pox. But my daughter's saying it sounds like something everybody has. So she's saying I probably got it when I got home. And that is less of a good story. So I'm sticking with lemur pox. But yeah, my poor wife got it. And it's hitting her a lot harder than me. And I feel really bad about that. So next time she tells me that I am going, when I come back from quarantine, I am going to be next time I'm back from Madagascar, she's going to put me in the living room to sleep in quarantine for a week. So that's the way it's going to be. Let's see. Heather says, my panther is about 7 months old. I'm curious when panthers get full color and move away from their more newborn brown color. It depends on genetics a lot, but by 12 months old, they should have their adult colors. 7 months, many of them do. It really depends on how we have like over 10 generations captive hatched. And if it's like part of one of those bloodlines, they end up being like full colored at like 4 months old. But like wild caught, it takes them a while. So it depends on how close to wild caught your bloodlines are. But by 7 months, they should be pretty colored up. But by 12, that's a very good a good time to say, okay, they're colored up. But everyone is different. Everyone is different. Are nail trims a pleasant experience with? Oh no. Oh no. Shiba Inus do not like their nails trimmed at all. He doesn't have any no touch zones, so you can pet him anywhere. But nail clippers, oh yeah, that's yeah, forget that. You almost got a kiss. Yes, he is addicted to static electricity. He has figured out that when you pet him and it's dry, he can get shocked on his nose if he puts his little wet nose on your finger, and he loves it. So every time you're petting him, he's always trying to put his nose on your hand to get shocked. I mean, what the heck? Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, Alicia says she's got it too. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. For Billy, you're at work and the Shiba screaming call. Yep. Oh yeah. Blaze gives me the Shiba scream, especially when he's frustrated. Like if there's a rabbit or squirrel or something that is hidden and he can't get at it, oh, he is just so frustrated. So anyway, by the way, everybody, I have got something that I am working on that I hope you guys would be interested. I am going to be helping Yvette out with Misty Mountain Fans. That is she. For those who don't know, Yvette is a world-class breeder of the satanic leaf-tailed gecko, the Eurypletus fantasticus, and we are going to be starting doing more on YouTube with this, and starting a newsletter and having a monthly live session. And I think we're going to have it like the first Sunday of every month. So that would be March 1st. And that'll be, let's see, a week from Sunday, that we're going to have a live session, and I'm going to have a newsletter. And so just letting you know that that's going to be coming up. I'm going to be sending it up very soon, and we're going to be starting that. And the push behind it is that the satanic leaf-tailed gecko community, it's very small, but it's at that inflection point that we were at with chameleons a little while ago, to where right now Eurypletus fantasticus is the only Eurypletus that has essentially year-round availability. When you have your reptile community, you have your breeders who are working really hard to figure out all the different species and how to breed them. You get to that point where you can do them consistently, and then that's when breeders start. And you guys, you've seen this with the chameleon community, with panther chameleons. We've gone through all these stages as well. But there comes a point where the breeders, they figured out how to mass produce, as in constantly produce. But there comes a point where you have to jump to the enrichment stage. And that's where we've been talking about in the chameleon community for the last couple of years, where we need to work on enrichment. And that is where we are just starting to get into that in the satanic leaf-tailed gecko community. And I want to put some attention to that and see if we can start there. Start this stage there with the keeper care, the enriched care. My Eurypletus fantasticus, my one satanic leaf-tailed gecko is going in this cage right here, and it'll be going in there this week sometime. And so I think this is a great time to put that kind of effort to see if we can guide that community to enrichment from the beginning. Like the chameleon community, we spent like 10 years where people have been fighting against enrichment, fighting against individual raising, fighting against larger cages and that kind of thing, because they're established breeders. And in the satanic leaf-tailed gecko community, we don't have a whole lot of established breeders. Yvette is one of the major ones, and there's others that do breed Eurypletus fantasticus, but Yvette, I think, is the only one who just does only Eurypletus fantasticus. And so we're in a position right now that we might be able to guide the community so they don't have to go through those 10 years of garbage that we in the Chameleon Academy had to, not academy, the chameleon community had to go through. So I'm going to be putting a lot of effort into more of the YouTube, really working on the care guide, fleshing it out, having a monthly newsletter and a monthly live session. And so those are all be set up this week. And by next Saturday, I'll have a link, and I'd love it if you guys would help and sign up for the newsletter, so it's not so I'm not talking to nobody. And the thing is, there really isn't a whole lot of keepers of Eurypletus fantasticus. A lot of people, and this is standard, when the community is young, you get a lot of people who say, yeah, okay, I want to breed them. And that's the mindset. But we're at the place where we can get to the enriched keeper, Gen E. And so it's an exciting time. And I mean, a lot of you love Europlatus as well, especially Fantasticus. And so love to have you on this trip as well. So let's see. Mike Ben says, sounds awesome. Look forward to the Fantasticus lives. It'll probably be so Sunday, I think at 1 p.m. Pacific. So group in order to produce Ambulobe's yellow body red bar. Is there a specific cross that needs to be done? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. If I were to research the answer to this question, I would go talk to Jonathan Hill from My Pardalis because he's really into this kind of stuff. We are going to be there to support her 100%. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Righteous. That's like that response. Yeah. Jerry is asking, if my panther cages are 30 inches off the ground, will panthers be bothered by the dogs? I do have a pup who goes sliding doors. Probably not, especially if you're this is a typical 4-foot cage. So the top of the top basking branch is almost 7 feet up, at least 6 feet. And so your chameleon would be looking down on your dogs. I don't know how big your dogs are. You may have a Great Dane, so this would be a challenge. But generally speaking, if your chameleon's looking down on the dogs, the chameleon's not going to be bothered. Now if the chameleon was looking up at the dogs, total stress. And yes, I have that in mind too. I know that I better have a Parsons Care Guide out at least the same time that I have the Satanic Leaftail Gecko. I already have a Satanic Leaftail Care Gecko out, so that's fine. But yeah, I recognize that I am on the hook for that. Will that delay? No, it's probably going to hasten the Parsons Care Guide because I can't handle all of the garbage you guys are going to give me if I produce something else before the Parsons. So, you guys, I got to tell you, I have a year's worth of, I've got 30 episodes of Parsons. I went crazy. I planned out 30 episodes of a Parsons video podcast series. It was like I ended up making up a complete year of Parsons stuff, and I know I can't do it this year. I have to do it in 2027, but I need to get the care guide out before then. We'll be getting okay. All right. Bill, can you send a link? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to send a link I'm going to put a link to Misty Mountain Fance. The video. There we go. So for people on YouTube, I'm going to be putting a link to her video channel. And for Instagram, which they don't let me put links, go look for Misty Mountain Fance, Phants on YouTube. And you can, and Instagram as well. She is very active on Instagram, and you get to see Fantasticus. Every couple of days, you get a new Fantasticus reel. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get the Parsons Guide. Any changes to your vitamin regimen? It's been a while. No changes. One of these days, I hope to decrease it. I would love to see us do this to be able to do feeding without supplementation. And Dragon Hoppers, Dean Missimer is working on this. And so we need to be very supportive of what Dean is doing. I know, he's a business. And so, hey, you're supporting a business. Yeah. This kind of business. Yeah. He's working on the diurnal feeder insects that chameleons eat. He's got a passion for that, and this is our unique opportunity to support someone who is directly benefiting us. If he succeeds, our chameleons are going to be healthier. And so yes, if you want, get your grasshoppers, go to Dragon Hoppers. He's okay. He's almost to the point where he can take on more people. So once he gets to that point, I'm going to be saying that. There's the Sheba bark. Once he gets to that point, I'm going to be telling you to go get your grasshopper subscriptions, because I got to tell you, the chameleons love grasshoppers. Some amazing. Yeah, everybody. I have some yellow lips. I have one yellow lip that I can send out. I can sell right now. I'm going to have to get photos, because that's the first thing anybody's going to ask. Where are photos? So I'm going to get photos. Yeah. And I can send out a Parsons right now. Does Christopher require the same care as others? Yes. They are just a little. They are not as many. They are smaller Parsons, but once you see an adult male, you're going, okay, this isn't the mini Parsons. It's pretty chunky. But yes, they are same care. Message deed, excellent. We need to support that guy in what he's doing, and he is dedicating a whole lot more. He's really serious about this, and so we need to support that guy. I have 100 hoppers coming in for the Parsons arrival. Yeah. So, wait, you're only selling one, Bill? I thought you were going to get. I'm only selling one right now. There's one of them that, is not leaving. And there's one that is being difficult. I have to work with him and make sure he's eating reliably. And this is, everybody, this is part of acclimation. When you get in wild caught, it's not just, okay, now I've got an adult chameleon. There is acclimation that goes in. So that's part of what I'm doing. So I got to figure out why he refuses to eat. And once I get him eating, then he'll be available. And of course, going through the parasites and all that kind of stuff. So. All right, everybody, we are coming to the end of this evening's show. I want to say thank you very much. The news items are, we're going to have that by next Saturday. Okay, three things going on. But next Saturday, by Monday, I should have a Chameleon Academy newsletter go out, and I'm going to have some pictures of the panther chameleons that I want to sell. These are, they're great, healthy, but I don't know the lineage, and so they are pet. We'll sell them as pets. I have females and males available, and these are the ones that you watch grow up behind me. They were small and very slow growing, but the females have gotten to complete female adult size. The males are still working on getting to their adult size. I don't know what's up with them, but there's some very strange colors. I showed you the other one, and I want to get him to fire up a little bit more, because I can't tell what he is. Some interesting colors. So if you want a little mystery panther and you just want one for a pet, thing is, they will breed, but the thing is, if we don't know what they are, locale, if they start coloring up and say, okay, yeah, now we know, and maybe they'll color up in 4 months, it's obvious, then go ahead and breed them. But right now, I can't tell what they were. And they came from a wild-caught female that laid eggs, and she wasn't labeled. See, that's the problem. That's why I got the babies, is because we didn't know what they were. So, and there is one that I can tell, these came from different females. So there's one that I can tell is absolutely nocibé, and so I will sell that one as a nocibé. But these other ones, they just have this reddish color to them, and it's like, what? So anyway, um, so that'll be the Chameleon Academy newsletter on Monday. If you're not signed up for that, just go to the chameleonacademy.com website. It's a free newsletter. Also, I will be getting ready to sell the male Parsons as soon as I've got one is just big and gorgeous and wonderful, and so I'll be getting that ready, and I'll list them in the newsletter, and then get ready. We're going to be starting doing a little bit more with the satanic leaf-tailed geckos, and you know what? It'd be very interesting for all of you to is Squishy? Yes, Squishy will be available too. We've got to find somebody in the community to take Squishy. But this is an interesting. Yeah, my voice is really saying, yes, you're over your hour, Bill. But I talk about community stages, and I've been a student of the community stages with the chameleon community for decades. And it's very interesting to see how the different reptile communities handle the different stages. And you can see some communities right now that are so stuck in the breeder phase, and that's where the breeders are the top dogs, and everybody has breeder level care. Hey, you. And they're stuck. They can't get to the enrichment phase because nobody can break the breeder blockade. And the reason why, the reason you need somebody who has the clout, the respect, and the experience, and isn't stuck in the breeder blockade. So it's every community needs someone that's going to break free and say, we've got to work on enrichment. And until they have that, at least one person, they're stuck. And you can just look at all the communities, and you can see the different communities at different stages. And we broke through of that. And a lot of that is due to us here at the Chameleon Academy. And I will say, yeah, I talked about it, but it doesn't take hold until the people in the community embrace it. And so it was because you all said, yeah, this is the thing we want. This is what we value, that we were able to kind of break the chameleon community free of this. And people like Jonathan Hill, who stood up and said, I know it's going to be a disadvantage, but I'm going to raise all of mine individually. And he showed that it could be done. And now, if you're starting a panther chameleon breeding business, you do it individually because that's the best husbandry. So it takes the community to stand up and step up to the plate. Thing is, we are at a point where we can develop the satanic leaf-tailed gecko community. We can build it up from the grassroots, not from the experienced people, which are wonderful. But the community doesn't grow until it has this entire foundation of people who just want to keep them as pets. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend this year trying to build out that base. And so even if you don't want a satanic leaf-tailed gecko, although you may fall in love with them, I tell you, they're incredible. Come along for the ride and watch the dynamics and watch how we try to develop this foundation of beginners. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you grow a community. And this can be done in any of the reptile, probably any niche. Yeah, any niche. This is how you grow a community. And that's something I'm actually interested in. And so come along for the ride. So, oh yeah, Reptile Show reporter. I'm doing that with Sean tomorrow at 5. Yeah. All right. Skyraider, very good to have you here for your first time. Everybody say hello to Skyraider. Yeah. Let's see. Going through all of the. Yeah. What time is the live on Saturdays? It is at 12 noon Pacific. So that's 1, 2, that's 3 p.m. Eastern. And everybody between there is going to have to do math. So I want to learn more about Sakura. Will that ever be covered? That's not going to be, they're not going to be covered directly. Now, Sakura and Fantasticus, they live in the same areas. You go into Mizaha and you see both Sakura and Fantasticus. So the conditions that they live in are the same. They're just different creatures as far as how they sleep. And one's a little bit larger. And so there's a lot of overlap. But we won't be talking about them specifically. Now, I'm probably going to bring in some from time to time for the videos I'm going to be bringing in, and maybe even the live session is going to be bringing people on to talk about the other species because I'm very interested in the Sakura. Sakura and Ebanawi are the next species that may be able to break that gravitational pull. What do they call it? Escape velocity, and become available year round. So we know that this is what happened with the chameleon community. Is it wasn't until panther chameleons became available year round that the community really started being able to grow. And so Fantasticus is at that point, right at that point. So we're at that inflection point. Sakura and Ebanawi are the next candidates to be maybe able to break that barrier. So we will be talking about those two species because it's part of watching these communities being built up in real time. It's very cool. Oh. If I was to get a gecko, that's the one I've always loved. Sakura. What the heck? I got a bunch of Sakura lovers here. Whatever. They are awesome. They are very awesome. And when you see Sakura on those branches, you go, oh my goodness, how is this real? They are so well camouflaged. It's amazing. Oh, Chameleons on Wheels. That's Emily. That's Emily. Just opened my first order of Reddy's Rainforest Fuel. Reddy's Rainforest feeder fuel, and it smells kind of good in here. See, now you know why I had to take a taste. It smells good. Yeah. I got to see one of many. Yeah, we've been lucky to see Sakura, and we've always seen Fantasticus and Sakura, but this year I actually saw Semietai. It's kind of Sakura-like, but not as mossy. But I'm very cool. They're the ones you find around Mafana. So yeah, and you can find Sakura babies. If you look, you can find them. Sakura and Ebanawi, if you look, you can find them. Fantasticus, go to Misty Mountain Fans. They're available year-round, and you can get them shipped when the weather allows. The thing is, they like it cool, so we can't ship them. You can't ship them during summer, as always. So if you're going to get one, you've got the next 3 or 4 months is the time to do it. All right, everybody. Hey, I think I am doing pretty good at paying back the minutes that I owe you from being late that first time. So yeah, I'm getting there. Okay. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me here in this wonderful Tuesday night. For the people who came here for the first time, wonderful having you. And everybody, have a great week. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you want to drop by the Reptile Show Reporter. And other than that, on next Saturday, we're going to be seeing more of my Madagascar shots. And I've had a lot of people send me pictures of their new chameleons. And so if you want to have your chameleon, if you just got a chameleon, or in the near past, I don't care. I'm not going to check how late you got it. Send it to bill@chameleonacademy.com, and I'm going to be having a show and tell for the community chameleons at the beginning of Saturday's show at 12 noon Pacific. But this one is on YouTube only. It is the Chameleon Academy live YouTube channel. And the only reason I don't have them on Instagram is because I give a slideshow. And the slideshow doesn't look well on Instagram. And Instagram doesn't let me do that. It lets other people, there are ways of doing it, but Instagram has blocked me on my account on doing it. So me and Instagram, we're not as tight as we used to be. But I still love all my Instagram followers. So come. But find the Chameleon Academy YouTube, Chameleon Academy Live. That's the name of the YouTube channel. So Bill's working overtime. That's right. That's right. Bill's debt has been paid. Thank you. For all those who don't know about this, if I am late or I stop early, for every minute that I am late or stop early, I owe the community 3 minutes. I don't know how that 1 to 3 thing came out, but it just kind of came out. And anyway, we went with it. So you get 3 minutes for every minute that I'm late. So that's why I can't be late. Can't be late, and I can't drop off early. So anyway, you are all wonderful, and I'll see you next time. Have a great week.